Well, firstly, Micheal, thank you so much for joining us today for Climate Action Live.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's a pleasure being here.
Fantastic. So, Micheal, you are the CEO of Trivium Packaging. Could you tell us about your journey to this point and what you do?
Well, I've spent the last 20 years in the packaging space, leading various packaging companies, everything from paper to plastic to metal packaging businesses. Back in January 2016, I was fortunate to become CEO of Exol, which is a leading specialty metal packaging company. But in October of 2019, I was very fortunate to become CEO of the combined business of Exol and the legacy Ardagh food and specialty business to form Trivium Packaging. Trivium Packaging is a global leader in metal packaging. We're about $3 billion in sales, 50 factories across 20 countries with over 7,500 employees. Our products touch hundreds of millions of consumers every single day, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this business.
Thank you, Micheal. Thank you for that. So Trivium Packaging is enabling Peace One Day to manifest constructive narrative that informs, inspires, and engages people to impact by sponsoring experiences like Climate Action Live and, of course, Peace Day. What motivates you to do that? And why is it so important to you, Micheal?
Well, we've been very, very fortunate to be associated with Peace One Day for many years now. I really first got engaged with you, Jeremy, because I was inspired about the impact you're making in the world, and through your organization, you're doing it very uniquely, something that I haven't seen in any other organization. The way that you're able to bring together NGOs, artists, the business community, and to be able to actually inspire people and make a difference and drive real impact is the reason why we want to be partnered with Peace One Day. We believe that by partnering with Peace One Day, we can also make the most of our efforts together to positively impact the world.
Thank you, Micheal. Well, we couldn't do it without you. And you know how incredibly grateful I am to you at Trivium and, of course, all of the team. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have a climate crisis on our hands. What has humanity got to do to get through this crisis? And do you think, Micheal, we're capable of turning this situation around?
Well, we're seeing the devastating impact of climate change every single day, whether it be the floods in Pakistan, whether it be the record droughts across Europe. This is impacting our lives daily. Fortunately, I think we do have to move quickly, but I do believe that there's hope ultimately. But we are going to have to change as human beings. Now, change doesn't mean that we have to do things that are going to make our life more difficult. Actually, we can do this in a positive way to actually improve our lives at the same time. We can live healthier lives through eating better, having more green space, for example. But I think one of the things that we fundamentally have to do is we have to make sure that we're framing this problem in the right way. Now, it's not just, if we just frame it about climate change, I'm not sure that we're going to get the full impact that we need. Now, if we change that to, how do we actually fix pollution, for example, that has a different mindset with consumers. Now, think about, folks every single day. Do you want your kids to breathe in dirty air? No. Do we want to have plastic in the water that we're swimming in, whether it be oceans or lakes? No. Do we want contaminated food sources? No, we don't want that. So if we frame this in a sense that we actually want to eliminate pollution, that also has a positive impact of ultimately improving the environment and reducing climate change. So we have to frame it in the right way with humanity, but we also have to make sure that the consumers are engaged. We have to make sure that governments, we have to make sure that brand owners, and all of those pulling together have to positively impact what we're doing to influence climate change. So we all have a role to play, and we have to make sure that we know to raise our voice, because every single action that we do every day makes a difference.
Yeah, very interesting, Micheal. Listen, I think it's really quite incredible what you do at Trivium. I happen to know because I've made some films with you, and I've always been fascinated, by what it is exactly you do. Could you just, and this isn't a question we've got written down here, but could you just, explain to people why metal is going to be a potential solution for the future in relation to packaging food?
Well, metal is critically important because it's one of the few substrates out there that recycles forever. We have one planet, that's it. So the products that we use, we have to use it over and over and over and over again. Unfortunately, many other packaging substrates out there, you can't recycle them forever. You can recycle it potentially a few times, but then the structural properties break down. But with metal, it's a product that recycles forever. Now, the metal can has been around for well over a century, and there's a reason for that. The product works. Now, it helps eliminate food waste, long shelf life. It lasts longer than any other packaging substrate out there. So metal is it has played and is going to continue to play an increasingly important role in protecting our food going forward.
Incredible. Thank you for explaining that, because it just makes total sense, and I can see why Trivium is playing a central role in creating a sustainable world. And I'm sure that really drives you every day to get up and work hard. It must be fascinating, being involved and doing the work that you do. So Trivium Packaging is taking climate change extremely seriously and is at the forefront of our journey towards a more peaceful and sustainable world. Could you tell us why it's important to you, and what has Trivium Packaging been doing in this space to find solutions to packaging?
Ensuring a better planet is something I take very personally. I have 5 children, and for me, it's about how do I ensure that we have a better planet, not just for my kids, but for our grandkids ultimately, and for their grandkids. So for future generations, it's deeply, deeply personal to me as a father, and I want to make sure that we have a lasting impact. Now, I chose specifically metal packaging because metal does recycle forever. It's one of the few substrates that does recycle, is infinitely recyclable, and having a background across all packaging substrates, for me, I knew I wanted to be in metal packaging because I believe that we ultimately have the opportunity to make a huge difference in the world. So we're working very closely with brand owners. We're working to make sure that we can provide packaging that has long shelf lives, that at the same time is convenient to consumers, and that we can make sure that it does recycle. Metal's valuable. It can be recycled. It does get recycled, and it's one of the most recycled substrates out there. So within Trivium, we're not just focused on the product, but we're focused on making sure that everything we do is driving a better future. We're starting with our suppliers, our metal suppliers, to make sure that they're getting green steel, green aluminum, to reduce our carbon footprint at the beginning. We're making sure that our products, they are recyclable and they're getting recycled. But we're also focused on working inside of our factories. So inside of our factories, we're doing everything we can to reduce our footprint on energy consumption, on waste, and we're making sure that ultimately we have the best factories, the most efficient factories, the lightest weight products out there to take even more material out so that we can make sure that we're utilizing Earth's resources in the best manner. We've got one of the leading R&D facilities in the world and R&D teams to really make sure that we're constantly innovating to get the best, lightest weight products out there to really help support the brand owner's needs. So we're looking across the spectrum, whether it be our operations, whether it be our suppliers, and ultimately to brand owners and to consumers to make sure that we have a total package that positively impacts the world.
If people would like to support and find out more about Trivium Packaging, how can they best do that?
The best way to find out more about Trivium is to go directly to our website. That's www.triviumpackaging.com. You can find out more about our white papers, our blogs, all of our latest research. Learn more about our products and the different applications that they have. At the same time, you can follow us on Instagram or on LinkedIn and be up to speed with our latest posts on sustainability or metal packaging. So please check it out.
Micheal Mapes, thank you so much for everything that you do for Peace One Day. Thank you so much for enabling Peace One Day to put out Climate Action Live. Take care, Micheal.
Thank you, Jeremy.